We are back. That's right. We are back to Football 101. Yes, this is the Beetle, and we are officially back. It's the off season. It's the off season of the NFL, and I want to thank you for tuning in to Football 101 during the off season. This is show number two during the off season, and it's entitled Tebow, Urban Meyer, and the Jaguars. That's right, Tebow, Urban Meyer, and the Jaguars. I'm sure by now, this is May 22nd. I'm sure by now most of you have gotten caught up in the TEBOWMANIA hype. That's right, I'm going to get straight to it. The TEBOWMANIA hype. He just signed 2 days ago. Right now, I think it's 2 days ago. It's been so much hype after when it started during the NFL draft. And I did a show for the NFL draft. And by the way, please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. Football 101. But right now, I had to do it. I initially wasn't going to do a show until June. But the TEBOWMANIA has gone bonkers. The TEBOWMANIA has gone bonkers. Tim Tebow being signed by the Jaguars 2 days ago. And the buzz came up with Urban Meyer after he picked the number one selection. That's right, when he picked Trevor Lawrence, the number one in the draft, Trevor Lawrence, to the Jaguars. That was supposed to be the major news coming out of Jacksonville. Excuse me. However, the major news now is the signing of Tim Tebow. Not the draft picks. Not Trevor Lawrence. Not ETN. Not all the great draft picks that the Jaguars did during the draft day. It's now May. And we're talking about, the league is talking about, the media craze is talking about Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow. And let me give a shout out to the SEC network on ESPN and the Paul Feinbaum show. The Paul Feinbaum show. I really like the show, the Paul Feinbaum show. I've been watching it for several years. Haven't called in yet, but on his show, that's all they're talking about. Tim Tebow. And I'm gonna address that in just a moment. And I'm glad that they're talking about it on the Paul Feinbaum show and his followers and all of them. I think it's great. I think it's great PR. I think it's great discussion to break it down. And Paul does a great job of breaking it down because he knows Tim Tebow. I don't know him. Again, I'm coming from, yes, the Beetle is coming from primarily from a football perspective. You know, I played football back in the day, during the 70s and during the 80s. I played football back in the day, and I'm just bringing it from my perspective. And I'm not going to share that right now, but there is a history. Now I mentioned the signing of Tim Tebow. People didn't believe it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. When it broke during draft day, you knew Urban Meyer was going to do a lot of different things. He's changing up the culture now that he's moved on to as a head coach of in the NFL. So, but there is a history, and let me give you the history of Tim Tebow. What I know, I don't know it that well. He won championships at the University of Florida. He could have gone to University of Alabama, but he went to University of Florida. That's where Tebow and Urban Meyer were connected because Urban Meyer was head coach, and they won the championships. They're great. Tim Tebow, let me just say, Tim Tebow is a great young man. You know, I can say young man because I'm 62. So he's a great young man. I have no qualms about Tim Tebow and who he is as a football player and who he is as a person. I have no qualms at all. You know, he's a great young man. Of the people I know who know him, phenomenal, great character, great athlete, college athlete, and he won and Heisman Trophy winner and all of that. But when he went to the pros, drafted by the Broncos, and I was a Bronco fan, by the way, back in the day. And, I wasn't that crazy about when the Broncos drafted him, but he did his job for a short period of time. And then that's when John Elway and the boys said, let's bring in Peyton Manning and let's forget about the Tebow experiment. And then Tebow had to go to other teams, as you very well know, with the Jets, with the Eagles, and he did some good things. And then he left football. Then he went to baseball, and now after 12 years, 13, I don't know how many years, he's back in the NFL, not as a quarterback, but as a tight end. And he has a skill, and I'm not going to downplay the ability of an athlete to move to a different position. I'm not going to downplay that. I'm not going to be like the talking heads. He can't play tight ends. Look, for us who played the game, okay, it's about developing a skill set for a particular position. And most of the times, a lot of us who are skilled can play different positions. So I have no doubt that Tim Tebow can play tight end now. He can basically know the mechanics of playing tight end. I give him props on that. Now I'm going to, I give him credit right there. I'm going to stop right there. But let me give you a little bit more about the history of Urban Meyer. Like I said, head coach of Florida. Then he was head coach of the Ohio State University. Urban Meyer coming back to Ohio. The Ohio, and winning championships, by the way. And then he left Ohio State, said he's burned out, needed to change his perspective, needed to reduce the stress, and he ended up at Fox as a major commentator, sports commentator. Urban Meyer knows how to break down the game. Let me just give some props to Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer, he is a general. He is a philosopher. He is a highly skilled, high-level coach. No doubt. He's from the Buckeye State, of course. I have to give him props. But he made his chops really in Florida. And then Ohio State. Okay, so Florida first, then Ohio State. And quality athletes that he graduated from the Ohio State as well. Hello. Taking over the Ohio State. And I don't want to go through the history of the Ohio State and who he took it over from. But anyway, skilled athletes made it to the pros. And again, Urban Meyer is an outstanding college coach. And I'm giving him full props. Okay, I said college coach. Yet he has not yet to prove himself as a professional, NFL professional coach. And again, it's wait and see on that. But I know he is an outstanding coach, bar none. Bar none. Urban Meyer is the real deal. Then I'm going to let me go quickly to, like I said, the Jaguars drafted Trevor Lawrence. He's the face of the Jaguars for the next 15, 20 years. However long Trevor wants to play for Jacksonville, he's the face, he's the culture of Jacksonville. The Duval. The owner came out and greeted him at the stadium when he arrived. They invested a lot in Trevor Lawrence. You look at and let me just say, I happened to see Trevor Lawrence in a college game. Actually, when he played, when Clemson played NC State there last year, I saw him at NC State. Wow, this kid has all the great mechanics and the skill level at the professional level, no doubt. He's a superstar, and I just say he needs that professional development. So I give all props to Trevor Lawrence. So then after the draft, all the buzz started building, and now we're in full blown TEBOWMANIA after Tebow has been signed. Now I did see a snippet of Tebow after he signed, going to a workout with the rest of the players. I think it's the rookies or something like that. And he had his jersey on, the Tebow jersey of the Jaguars, his name on the back. And he had his gloves on. he already had his gloves on just working out. And one of the tight ends, who's a regular tight end in the NFL, said, well, he made a snide comment about Tebow on just going out to practice. And I think that was a dig. And I mentioned that is because, again, now I'm getting to the heart of it. I'm 10 minutes in. Tim Tebow is going into another skill. Highly skilled position. Tight end. And as I said previously, many times players can move about different positions when they're in college and even when they're in the pros. But when you move to, this is the NFL. And let me just say, I think 80% of the general audience doesn't realize how skill level it is at the NFL. It's one thing to play different positions in high school, elementary. I played several positions in high school. I was a wide receiver and defensive back. I went both ways in high school and in junior high. But in college, I played defensive back. I was fortunate to play defensive back. That was my position. And you get skilled at a particular position. It takes a lot of time, energy to be skilled at one position. Just in college. But now you move over to, I'm going to switch to a new position at the professional level. Think about professional NFL level, where guys make their career just thinking, just organizing, just crafting out their skill level at one position. And it takes years and years and years to perfect being a running back, quarterback, tight end, tackle, guard, rusher, center. And they all have different types of centers, types of guards, types of tackles, types of edge rushers. The game has changed because the speed of the game has dramatically gotten faster. And the NFL wants faster athletes at each position. And you must be highly skilled. So I'm saying this because there's a lot of talk that a lot of folks think that Tim Tebow can naturally make a switch to tight end. As I heard on the show on Friday, Tim Tebow is right now the 6th tight end on the Jacksonville Jaguars squad. Now let me just say this: anyone who makes a squad on any NFL team is an athlete, highly skilled. Don't take that for granted. And yes, NFL teams they sign all types of athletes from all different walks of life to try to make a team. And Urban Meyer signed Tim Tebow for a reason. I'm going to get to that in just a sec. He signed him for a reason. And it's more than just to play tight end, because if you switch from quarterback all your life, and of which Tim Tebow always played and did not want to play tight end or any other positions, now you come back after 13 years and play tight end. Tim Tebow knows what he's getting into. He knows he's got to upgrade his skill level, learn a completely different skill as tight end in the NFL. It's not going to be easy. Now, that's a message that I have to say to a lot of non-athletes, non-football players out there at the professional level. And I've been fortunate to have friends who made the NFL, played in the NFL for several years, and I know that what type of training it takes to maintain yourself at the professional level. It's not something you can do overnight. It's not something you can do in a couple of days. It's not something to do in a couple of weeks. These are grown men. These are not college students. These are not rah-rah guys. These are grown men making a living. Making a living. So let me just do a quick shout out to all the talk shows out there. ESPN. I even saw CBS. What was it? Tiki and Turney. I saw the all different talk. It's just been going on nonstop. First Take. Stephen A. Smith. Paul Feinbaum. All the talking shows out there. Let me just say, here's the bottom line on all of this, and I don't have any problems. I don't have any problems with Urban Meyer and the Jaguars signing Tim Tebow. They can sign anybody they want to. Let me just say that. They can sign anybody they want to. Hello. It's the owner, coach, general manager. They got the money. They can sign anyone they want to. Let's just say this is a business. So that tells me it's a business move. Tim Tebow from the South, from Florida, it's going to, for one thing, it's about making money. They're making money hand and foot right now. They're making extra money. They've already made their money because of Trevor Lawrence. Don't forget Trevor Lawrence. And changing up the team. And Urban Meyer, new coach. So they're making money now. They have a connection to London because many times Jacksonville's been the one team that played over in London consistently. And they may even move over in London if it doesn't go well in this move. So they're making money. Two, they're changing the narrative of Jacksonville. Normally we wouldn't talk about Jacksonville during the month of May or even June or July and August. But guess what? Jacksonville Jaguars will be a part of the narrative. A part of the talk during June, July, particularly when the camps open, when the veterans come. In August, training camp. Okay, I'm going to get into that in just a second. Tebow is a hometown hero. They crazy about him. Let's face it. And there's nothing wrong. You got to have a hometown hero. Jacksonville, Florida, SEC, Southeastern Conference. Tim Tebow is, it is what it is. It's okay. I'm fine with it. I don't know why some of the former athletes getting all funkatized about it. He is what it is. He's magic when he played in certain games. He was magic. Give props. It's on tape. He proved it. Okay, for that period of time. So he's always will be a hometown hero. That's good. And then now let's switch to being a professional football player. The bottom line is, how is this going to affect the rest of the team when you start putting on the pads in July? That's right, putting on the pads. Now, Tim Tebow will look good without the pads and the jersey on and running little pass patterns as a tight end. He's going to look good in June, May, June, part of July. But when you put on the pads, you start to get physical. When you have to block one-on-one drills. And you have to block the outside linebacker. When you have to block the defensive end. How's he going to deal with that? Again, he's a quarterback. He's a big-time quarterback. But again, it's about blocking and then running pass patterns. And guess what? Nowadays, who do they sign? Who does the defense put on a tight end? They put many times, the extra cornerback. Not a safety, but they put an extra cornerback on these tight ends now because the tight ends are so smooth and so fast. They're different. They're not the old slow tight ends. So a lot of defenses put on some of their fourth string cornerback and some of their fluid safeties on the tight end. They no longer put assign when it's a pass pattern. They no longer assign a linebacker to the tight end. They match him up with a defensive back. So will Tim Tebow be able to maneuver around these defensive backs who are very physical? And I have to say, these defensive backs nowadays, that have to pair up with tight ends, they bring the pain. So when it comes out, let me just say this. I'm there now. I'm there. When all the cameras are gone, all the hype is gone, when it's one-on-one drills, and this is where when players say, okay, it's time to get paid. It's time to be the real deal. Players on defense, players on offense, they want to see how you match up. And these are NFL players, and they will not play around. This is about livelihood. And it's going to get physical. It's going to get nasty in practice. I'm just talking about. I'm not talking about games in practice. I don't know how Tim Tebow is going to handle practice. Let's just get to that practice. The physicality. Now, if he wins the battle on one-on-one practice drills, I don't care. And they were talking about who's the tight end coach. I don't care about the tight end coach. It's really up to Urban Meyer. Will he keep Tim Tebow after he sees him in pads in practice? That's what I'd like to know. Is he going to keep Tim Tebow on the team once he sees Tim Tebow in pads, in practice, one-on-one drills, and then on scrimmages? Will Tim Tebow show enough that he deserves to be a tight end on the team, beating out all the other 5 or 6 tight ends on the team? And granted, these other tight ends are not, they're skilled athletes. They are drafted. They're above Tim Tebow right now because that's their livelihood. They've been doing it all their life. So don't downplay the other tight ends on a professional team of Jaguars. The Jaguars are a good team. Let me just correct. A little shout out to Paul Feinbaum. The Jaguars are a good quality team with skilled athletes, professional athletes. They're not as bad as you think they are. So again, when it gets down to drills, when it gets down putting the pads on, and see, that's where the Beetle come from. I love putting the pads on and getting physical. And you can see in the eyes of another player whether they want to get physical or not. That's what I'm waiting to hear and see from the players when the pads are on, the practice is on, and whether Urban Meyer. Now I'm going to check Urban Meyer. Whether you find out, is this all about making money and getting a buzzword out there? After Urban Meyer and the players see what Tim Tebow is about in the pads, in practice, what are they going to say during that press conference? What's Tim Tebow going to say during the press conference after his first practice, after team drills? And if he does make the team, what impact will he have on that offense? Because the Tim Tebow mania will be over to another level once the season starts and if he makes that team. So I'm getting to the end of this. It makes the team. They're going to throw in Tim Tebow packages. You know they will. The crowd will demand it. The Tebow mania will be at a frenzy. But it comes down to, when you get in the NFL, it's about wins and losses. It's not about how many jerseys you sell. It's really not about how much tickets you sell. It's about wins and losses. And whether one person will be a distraction to the whole team. And I guarantee, this is one thing I will get, and I did hear it from some of the commentators on ESPN, Mel Kiper, and former NFL players. They say, what's the chemistry? What's the other guys going to view? How they're going to view it if Tim Tebow gets really preferential treatment when the game starts, and will they change up the game philosophy? Because you're dealing with a young quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, and will this mess up his growth and development as a rookie quarterback? And bottom line, I'm 25 minutes in. I'm straight to it. This can be a big coup, a coup for Urban Meyer and the Jaguars, signing Tim Tebow, making the team. He becomes, some type of entity on the team. Or this could be a major disaster. I just heard just yesterday on Friday, I think the strength coach on the Jaguars resigned. The strength coach resigned. There was another coach that Urban Meyer had to get rid of 2 months ago after he got the job. So this could be a big coup, a bonanza of changing the culture of the Jaguars by Urban Meyer. And if it is, I applaud a big coup. Bring in Tim Tebow. I'm clapping. I'm clapping. I'm an Urban Meyer fan. I'm a Tim Tebow fan. I'm not a fan of Tim, but I applaud his effort. But it could be a disaster too. A disaster by the end of the season if it doesn't go well. That's the reality. So Urban Meyer, let me just say this. He's a genius. I don't doubt his creativity, his genius. But only thing I question about Urban Meyer, and it's hard for me to admit this, the NFL is a different animal. And I say a different animal. It's not college. You can't control things at the NFL level. It's a different machine. It's a different animal. They have certain standards. You're dealing with higher skilled athletes, higher media, higher everything. And Urban Meyer has not dealt with that yet. And Urban Meyer has a big ego. I understand that. But I'm just saying, I'm giving a suggestion to Urban Meyer. Please put your ego in check. Please put your ego in check. Same thing to Tim Tebow. Put your ego in check. Because this is the NFL. That's the reason why I got this hat. Champions, Tampa Bay. And even my boy Brady said, hey, I'll throw some passes to Tim Tebow. Tim, come over to my mansion. Let's work out. I'll throw some passes to you. Brady loves the attention. That's the reason why Brady is a champion. 7-time champion. He knows the animal of the NFL. That's the reason why he left Patriot land. You know I was going to say something about that. But again, getting back to Tim Tebow. I'm 28 minutes in. I'm wrapping it up. I went a little bit too long on this. But it could be a big coup. Fantastic. Another Tim Tebow mania throughout the entire year. Or it could be a disaster. I don't know which one, but it's either or. There's no in between. Once you sign Tim Tebow, let me just say this. Unless Urban Meyer wants to bring him on as coach, and I heard this on the Paul Feinbaum show, he bring him as coach, bring him as assistant coach, and he stays on the team for a year or two, and then the University of Florida doesn't go well. He goes and becomes head coach for the University of Florida. I heard that on the Paul Feinbaum show. So I believe that Urban Meyer has a plan. He's a genius. Tim Tebow has another chance. And it's not going to hurt Tim Tebow whether he fails. He's a strong-willed man. He's a religious man. And rightly so. Again, I have no problems with Tim Tebow. Everyone has a chance. And again, I'm 62. If someone signed me to come and play for the NFL, I'll sign up in a heartbeat because I still train. I still train my little self. I still train. But if someone want to sign me, I'm all for it. So Tim Tebow gets signed by Jacksonville. It's going to be a big coup or a big bust. And by the summertime, when they get the pads on, once I see film and once I see some tape on Tim Tebow, I'll come back and tell you whether it's a bust or a big coup. Because right now, I don't know. But again, when you put the pads on, it's game time. It's time to show out. And again, the brothers don't play when you put on pads, particularly at the NFL level. So I'm not disturbed about all this. I just think it's a thing of this Tim Tebow and people living their dreams out of Tim Tebow. That's what's kind of funny. People living their dreams out of Tim Tebow. Give it up. Move on. Stop living your dreams through Tim Tebow. The NFL is the real deal. These are highly skilled athletes. And the NFL is a machine. And you have to get used to this machine. That's the reason why I love the NFL. That's right. That's the reason why I love the NFL. So this is the Beetle. Enough already. This show is about Tim Tebow. It's called Tebow, Urban Meyer, and the Jaguars. I can't even believe I'm doing this show in May and talking about the Jaguars. See, Urban, you're supposed to be coming in a nice, easy way, but Urban wants to make all this hype up. It's going to be a big coup or it's going to be a disaster. So there you go. This is the Beetle. I'm out of here. I'm 31 minutes. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, please. I'm just getting started. And if the hype gets even more, I'm going to do another show. So we out of here. I'm not getting that hyped up about it. That's my show, y'all. Have a great Memorial Day. Party on. And enough of this TEBOWMANIA. We out.